Okay, so today we're going to be talking about inverses of functions. All right, so yesterday, if you remember, we talked about function operations, so adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing. And then the last half of class, we looked at composition. And composition was the thing that was new. It was taking one function, putting it into another function, which is totally new. All right, again, we'll be doing that in the second half today to see how it relates to finding inverses. All right, so hopefully you read this slide. We're going to start by using these 4 steps to find the inverse of a function. All right, so let's try this example. What is step number 1? Great, so I'm going to write y equals the cube root of x plus 1. That's step number 1. Replace f of x, and it could be g of x, h of x. Just replace your function notation with the letter y. All right? Step 2. If you're like, where are they getting this from? It's on the slide previous to this one. So we're going to switch x and y. So x equals the cube root of y plus 1. So they literally trade places. Switch x and y. Step 3 is solve for the new y, which means I need to get this by itself. Do you guys see now why I had you do that in the rewinds? Yes, because that's what you're going to do right now. So how do we isolate this y? First, you want to cube both sides to get rid of that cube root. So now I have x cubed equals, very good, so those are inverse operations, so they go away. And finally, to get y by itself, subtract 1. So y is going to be equal to, whoa, that's cool. Now, I write it like that, but some of you will probably write it where the y comes first. It doesn't matter. All right? I do not care. The last step, step 4. So if you look up there, it says it up there in the instructions as well, because if it's not a function, then we don't get to do step 4. All right? If it is a function, then we're going to replace y with function notation. Well, guys, do you know if this is a function or not? So you don't know. You don't know. It's not. Why do you say it's not? Because of the cube? Does anyone know what this looks like if I were to graph it? No? So do you guys remember when we did cube roots? It was like this. Remember that? Seriously? It wasn't that long ago. Yeah, it went like that. So x cubed is actually very similar. It's just it goes like this. And actually, it is a function. Huh? It is. It is a function. The cubic function is a function. That's why it's called the cubic function. All right. Great. So since it is a function, I'm going to replace y with the inverse notation. So at the beginning, the problem said f of x. So watch how I rewrite it. F to the negative first power of x equals x cubed minus 1. So that when you write f of x, but you throw that negative first power, that tells me it's the inverse of f of x. All right, so that's called inverse notation. Any questions on how to do these steps? The hardest one probably will be the last step, step 4. Do you know if it's a function? Because many of you guys your knowledge of functions right now is just very, very low. Okay? It's not a diss. I'm just telling you right now it is. You can take it like that, but that's not what I meant it. Questions about how to find inverse? Yeah?
How can we determine if it's a function or not?
I mean, you can plot points. I know what all these functions look like. So yeah, you should learn more functions.